The Great Depression of 1929 stands as one of the most significant and devastating economic events in global history. Its causes, impacts, and lessons remain profoundly relevant in understanding today's financial systems and preparing for potential crises. This script explores the origins, progression, and aftermath of the Great Depression, aiming to provide a comprehensive view of this critical historical event. The 1920s, often referred to as the Roaring Twenties, were a period of remarkable economic prosperity. Following World War I, the United States experienced a boom fueled by technological advancements, industrial expansion, and consumer culture. Automobiles became a household necessity, radios connected people to the world, and innovations like assembly lines made production faster and cheaper. The stock market, a reflection of this optimism, became a symbol of wealth and opportunity. But beneath the surface of this prosperity lay deep economic vulnerabilities. One of the key factors contributing to the Great Depression was the speculative bubble in the stock market. During the 1920s, the stock market grew rapidly, with average Americans investing heavily. Many used borrowed money to buy stocks, a practice known as buying on margin. This meant investors could purchase shares with only a small fraction of the cost up front, borrowing the rest. While this practice magnified profits when stock prices rose, it also exposed investors to enormous risks if prices fell. The warning signs of an economic downturn became apparent by 1928, but the frenzy continued. On October 29, 1929, a day now known as Black Tuesday, the stock market crashed. Prices plummeted, wiping out billions of dollars in wealth in a matter of hours. Panic spread as investors rushed to sell their shares, only to find that there were no buyers. This was not just a market correction, it was the collapse of an unsustainable bubble. The immediate effects of the stock market crash were devastating. Banks, many of which had invested depositors' money in the market, faced insolvency. As banks failed, people lost their savings, leading to a wave of fear and further bank runs. The collapse of the banking system cut off access to credit, paralyzing businesses and consumers alike. Industrial production fell sharply, and unemployment soared. By 1933, the United States unemployment rate had reached 25%, with millions of people out of work. Families lost their homes, and breadlines stretched for blocks as people struggled to feed their families. Rural areas faced additional challenges, as falling crop prices left farmers unable to pay their debts. In the Dust Bowl region, severe droughts compounded the crisis, forcing thousands of families to abandon their farms. The Great Depression's impacts were not confined to the United States. The global economy, already weakened by World War I, was deeply interconnected. International trade collapsed as countries imposed tariffs in a desperate attempt to protect their industries. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, passed in 1930, raised U.S. tariffs to record levels, prompting retaliation from other nations. This trade war deepened the economic downturn, spreading the depression worldwide. In Europe, the Great Depression exacerbated political instability. Germany, already struggling with reparations from World War I, faced severe economic hardship. Unemployment and poverty created fertile ground for extremist ideologies, contributing to the rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Similarly, other nations saw shifts in political landscapes as governments grappled with the crisis. Despite the widespread devastation, the Great Depression also spurred significant changes in economic policies and governance. In the United States, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal marked a turning point. Introduced in 1933, the New Deal comprised a series of programs aimed at providing relief, recovery, and reform. Public works projects created jobs, while financial reforms, such as the establishment of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC, sought to stabilize the banking system. One of the most iconic New Deal programs was the Civilian Conservation Corps, CCC, which provided employment for young men in conservation projects. Another was the Works Progress Administration, WPA, which funded infrastructure projects like roads, bridges, and schools. These initiatives not only helped reduce unemployment but also modernized the country's infrastructure, laying the foundation for future growth. The Social Security Act of 1935 was another landmark achievement, creating a safety net for the elderly, unemployed, and disabled. This legislation reflected a broader shift in the role of government, with increased recognition of its responsibility to protect citizens during economic crises. These policies, though controversial at the time, helped restore confidence and set the stage for economic recovery. The Great Depression also had lasting cultural impacts. Literature, music, and art from the era often reflected the struggles of ordinary people. John Steinbeck's *The Grapes of Wrath* became a classic depiction of the hardships faced by migrant workers. Songs like "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?" captured the despair and resilience of the time. The Federal Art Project and other New Deal initiatives supported artists, writers, and performers, ensuring that creativity flourished even in the darkest times. As we reflect on the Great Depression, it's essential to consider the lessons it offers. One critical takeaway is the importance of financial regulation. The speculative practices that fueled the stock market bubble highlighted the need for oversight to prevent excessive risk-taking. The creation of the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, in 1934 was a direct response to these challenges, aiming to protect investors and maintain market integrity. Another lesson is the value of social safety nets. The New Deal's programs demonstrated the importance of supporting vulnerable populations during economic downturns. Today, initiatives like unemployment insurance and food assistance trace their roots to this era, providing crucial lifelines during crises. The Great Depression also underscores the dangers of protectionism. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act and subsequent trade wars deepened the global economic downturn, illustrating the need for cooperation and open markets. In a highly interconnected world, isolationist policies can have far-reaching consequences. Finally, the Great Depression serves as a reminder of human resilience. Despite the immense challenges, people found ways to adapt, support one another, and rebuild. Communities came together, and individuals displayed remarkable ingenuity and determination. These qualities remain vital as we face new economic and social challenges. Today, as we navigate a complex global economy, the lessons of the Great Depression remain profoundly relevant. From the importance of financial stability to the role of government in crisis management, this historical event continues to shape our understanding of economics and society. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment if you'd like to see more content like this. Your support helps us create educational and insightful videos about the financial world.